welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terra Invicta in the Resistance run. We're starting to run a little low on ops, so I need to get some ops going in space to compensate for the fact that we're burning lots of ops, trying to induce revolutions.
Ready for orders.
I'm here.
Because yeah, we're paying for like 70, 74, 78.
At your service.
Yeah, we'll
Ready.
roll the 74s. I might actually
Standing
slow
by.
you down. So what if we assign you... What does it take to get 74? 32. Extra 32 gets us up 6 more points. We'll just take the 74.
The government must fall.
Network PsyOps, of course, is going to help with that. They're doing future tech military science, that's fine. That's one of the 3 that you actually really want done. We'll let them have control of that. If they pick a different one, it'll be fine. We're not too worried about the repeatables. They're working on antimatter mass production. That's almost done. Antimatter plasma core reactor. Okay. And the atom smasher and stuff like that. We're probably not going to do antimatter. So let's confirm assignment, and we'll let some more time pass. In 3 days, we worked out we're going to get our first wave of ships. So we're gonna do a lot of space action in the coming minutes.
Offering support.
Okay. So we can add these to Romeo 613, except we don't really want to. That's the main combat fleet. We're gonna hit close here, and then we're gonna add all these to 740. Yeah, I think 740. Wait, no, 7040 had... Oh no, the other one was the Mercury one. Okay. So, you are low Mars. You want all those ones to join 771. This is Mercury. Mercury wants to join 770. Well, the one that is at the station. We're gonna have to group the other 4 up and burn them over. Okay. So we got a 6 ship fleet there. We're gonna move you over to 770, which will arrive in 11.2 hours. And then you, time to start doing some acquisitions. There are... We'll go fly up to Mars. I'm not sure how many of the bases the servants managed to take over while we were busy. Oh, I'm just missing 3 on Mars. So yeah, we're going to go take acquisition of the 3 remaining bases. We can support another 6... Well, another 11. Another 11. So we can take over the 3 remaining bases. I could then go over to, say, Phobos or Demos. Demos is probably a little bit more tempting than Phobos. And take that one over as well. Yeah, probably run out of Demos, take Demos over. I might just let these guys keep Phobos. Although it's still tempting to take over Phobos as well. But yeah. So your task, Romeo 771, is acquisitions. Brandenburg base. You'll take it over 100% chance in 4.6 days. Go forth. In 185 days, we're going to disband the old Mercury fleet. Because these guys are old. They're missile and torpedo armed. They're pretty effective against forces of about their size. Base captured, manage the base. Obviously we want the mine working again. Kind of the no-duh statement. We want the mine working. And we probably want an admin complex. And we probably want the admin complex to overwrite some of the stuff we don't want, right? We don't want that many skunk works. We'll overwrite a skunk works. We probably want to upgrade the layered defense array. Although I'll overwrite another skunk works. At this point, we just need power. I can probably overwrite some of the ruins with power. Because we're not necessarily going to replace the ruins. Oh, the farm was destroyed. So obviously we'll replace the farm. We need to replace the farm. Need to defeat the Blitz. Don't need that skunk works. We'll take a fusion reactor farm there. And then we can do a fusion reactor farm over that ruin. And these are... What, that's info. Does info cost? Info's just money. Rebuild the info. The space. So we got a space, and a space. Space science. Just money for upkeep. Okay. Money and crew, of course. That's a former Marine platoon barracks. We actually kind of want that, so we'll fix that. That's a heavy fission pile we apparently just don't need. We're power... As soon as everything's built, we're power positive again. Yeah, as soon as everything's built, we're power positive again. So I don't need to do anything else. Yeah. And we do kind of still want to work our way up to the higher Marine barracks at some point for the ops. These can be anywhere, and we do want more ops. In theory, there's maybe an argument where you probably want to get up to something like... Oh, that would be a lot, but... Maybe even something as high as like 250 a month or something? Maybe even more than that. So we can just really crank out the revolutions out on planet Earth. But that sort of splurging in space is maybe more than we need. Okay, so we just took place over. So in 3.2 hours it will be repaired. And it can go take the next one. Take 4.6 days, go ahead.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
No, you don't need to do that in Quebec anymore.
Death to tyrants!
The revolution is coming. The uprising is underway.
New base captured by the Resistance! Of course, we want the mine. In fact, the mine is intact, we just are short power. That's somewhat good to hear. So we're gonna start overwriting old stuff. Do we want the skunk works that's destroyed? No. So, admin complex. We want the agricultural facility to be upgraded. So we can make sure that we're feeding everyone. We're gonna want a battle station, so we'll override one of the skunk works to the battle station. Oh, I have the tech now for the command center. We're not gonna build any command centers. Your space science, former Marine Company barracks. Yeah, we'll do a repair there. Space is fine. We'll repair that. We'll repair that. Your former point defense array. We'll leave that destroyed. We may need the power, although we can always just overwrite that with something. Overwrite those stuff with something else. That's a former point defense array. So we've actually got no point defense right now. So we'll drop a battle station. We only need one skunk works, so I'm going to overwrite one of the skunk works. One more skunk works. Actually, no, we have some point defense. We have a point defense. And then we need power. So, fusion reactor array over Broken Thing. And probably another fusion reactor array, just to bring the power up on the line. Yeah, so that'll be enough power. I don't need to repair that. And that should be enough to power everything on, I think. Yeah, so you're the only thing that doesn't have power. We should have surplus power. It should be able to be turned on. Cool. Mine acquired. Back to the fleet. Do your repair, and then do your acquisition. Servants have taken over Uganda, that's fine.
We are in control here.
We are back in full control of Guatemala. Which means if things continue according to plan, 5th of November, it will become a part of the greater United States North America. Securing the people and territory away from the servants and the protectorate. New base acquired. Of course, we need the mine, so rebuild the mine. Your former manufacturer, we're not going to keep you. We'll keep... Oh, I'm not going to keep... We'll keep... No. No, I don't need these nanny factories. We're going to completely destroy the nanny factories. We need an admin complex. We're going to overwrite one of the nanny factories with the admin complex. I need a farm, so we're going to overwrite the other nanny factory with a farm. I want a battle station that doesn't really want to be an upgrade, just probably wants to be a new one. So we'll overwrite the destroyed ruins of a place with the battle station. Oh, and there is a former admin tower, but the admin tower with the admin tower, that's fine. You know, we'll rebuild... Oh, that's the tier 3 one. That's why it's not showing it was a rebuild option, because I can't rebuild it. Fair enough. Okay, let's power the place. We are 2 fusion power plants short. Easy enough to solve. So, fusion reactor farm. Fusion reactor farm. That's enough to power it when it comes back online. And yeah, we could do more Marine Barracks stuff, and we might do some more Marine Barracks stuff when we get the Marine Barracks. It's not the tech we're currently working on network psyops, but yeah, probably will be the thing after network psyops. And then we come back to our fleet. Do the prepare. And we do have a destination for you. We want to take over the other decent mine out in Mars system. That being Demos. It's got 42 volatiles. I'm still tempted to try to take that one for the 26, but in fact, that is better some of the ones on the Mars. We'll probably take both of these. But for the moment, the acquisition fleet needs to go do some acquiring. So, Mars system, we want to go to Demos. You are arrived. Send in the Marines. Or the Rangers. The Resistance Rangers. Russian control of Exodus is now rivaling a person. We don't care about that. Okay. Back to Earth. We still have the ops to continue our campaign of liberation against the alien administration.
Reporting in.
In the meantime, not yet ready to... Well, our 16 command people are not
The op.
worth sending to do stuff against the alien nations. So let's do a defend interests on both Quebec
Securing
and
our
Guatemala.
interests.
Standing by for orders.
They're little, so they
Securing
need a little bit extra TLC to keep them in the fight. And then we'll probably contemplate moving against Cuba, although we probably want to do some public campaigning in Cuba first. Confirm assignments and advance. Debris duty. Enter the debris into the tracking system, or we can remove the debris. If there's a little bit more, like, we care about debris, we'd probably pay something to get rid of it. At this point, I'm kind of like, yeah, you might as well debris. Already had the bad event associated with too many debris. At least I think we have. So I think we're just gonna take the science. It's captured by the resistance. And the mine is online. Colony mining complex operational. The power is stable. We've even got a shipyard here, although I imagine trying to take off of the moon, it would be a little bit expensive from a drive perspective. Got a construction module we don't care about. I'm going to actually overwrite the construction module. We might overwrite the shipyard too. We obviously want an admin tower here, so we'll overwrite the U. We want food, because there's no food here, so we'll do an agricultural complex to overwrite U. Any of these things that are broken that we want to repair, yeah, we'll repair the research that doesn't cost any volatiles. Military, I don't think costs any volatiles. Nope. Former shipyard, we're going to leave destroyed. Fission reactor, unless we need the power, we're going to leave destroyed. And we do need the power, so I'm going to have to write something with more power, but that's fine. Layered defense array. I don't have any defenses here, so we'll take a battle station and slap it over the ruins of the defense array. Former shipyard will ignore, fission reactor will ignore, shipyard will ignore. Point defense will ignore. Former marine platoon will repair. Former xenology. Xenology? I think that was one of the ones that requires something special. No. Doesn't, so we can repair that one. And then we just need to balance the power budget, which it requires one fusion plant. We'll overwrite one of the destroyed power reactors with the fusion plant. And there we go. That when all built said and done, it should be power positive. In the meantime, we can see we're already getting 200 volatiles off of this thing a month, so good enough. So, Romeo 171, back to the Martian, basically the Martian gas station, go refuel and repair.
Making things safe for our people.
I will help them.
Securing our control.
Then go out to Phobos. And of course, send in the Marines. or in this case, I think they're technically resistance rangers. Send them to the rangers. Network PsyOps complete. +2 more bonus to our unrest missions. Allowing us to save a little bit more on ops for the same sort of level difficulty, and or spend more ops to go farther. We want the Marine Battalion Barracks. This is more ops. This is the the spaceway that I know about that makes ops. It's not a cheap building. It's 3 volatiles a month to 12 ops, so it's a 1-to-4 ratio. Although, as we're getting better in space, volatiles are pretty common. It's just you use a lot for spaceship armor. And the more advanced armors, we're trying to avoid the exotic use. The ones that use exotic use even less volatiles than what we're currently using. So yeah, we'll work on the Marine Platoon Barracks. We can probably accept burning a little bit more volatiles for ops to control more of Earth. Base acquired. The mine was destroyed, so of course, immediately repair the mine. This is a Spaceworks we don't care about. We'll probably overwrite that with something. This is a nanofactory we want to overwrite. So we're going to overwrite Spaceworks and the nanofactory. At this point, there's barely anything not being replaced. In fact, what's here operational are things I want to replace besides the point defense. So what we got a admin complex, we got an agriculture complex, we want a battle station. And we're probably going to need some power to power that, so we'll slap the fusion reactor over the construction module. I don't want. We're still not power positive. I don't want that nanofactory, so we'll overwrite that with the fusion reactor. Don't want the nanofactory, don't want the fission reactor. Don't need that. Don't need that, because we already put an admin complex in. Don't need shipyard. Don't need that. 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 Well, I might want one skunk works if we actually start doing science here. One of the good events is gear plus science. So it could be 5 science and it could be 1 gear. And that's probably how you want to do it because the gears are expensive. I say gears. I can find the Skunk Works. Skunk Works provides, as you can see, it's a gear emblem. I think it's technically an engineering project. As you can see, the tier 2 version is costing 3 volatiles. Like that's acceptable, but it's not cheap. But yeah, if you're pushing for, I think it's one of the mining events, it's this plus some science. So you may want to run some of that to gamble on raising more science, although you probably just want to run just that one. Probably don't want to run the tier 2 version, which is even more volatiles. I believe it's, or the tier 3 version. The tier 3 version, I think, runs 10 volatiles. 11th of September.
The uprising is underway.
The uprising is underway. The revolution is coming.
Okay. That'll give us a little bit more ops, assuming it's operational. That's power. Global research complete. Future tech, space science. So that has provided us with one more mining module, bringing us from 36 to 37. So we can have 10 more mines. I think the next 10 mines we're going to get are probably going to be in the Jupiter system. So that is actually what we're going to do with 771 is we're going to send it back to the shipyard. It's going to do a repair, and then it's going to wait for another 6 ships to go out to Jupiter. Yeah, open research here. We got 5 choices. We can do energy, which on the stable patch does nothing. The current beta, it does something. The current patch, it does nothing. Well, it says re-rolls the project. For us, that basically means nothing. Rerolls the unlock check. Basically, again, nothing. 6 months longer. Maybe tempting. 6 months longer is tempting. If we had enough science where I was just going to casually run, like, multiple slots, we'd be running those. Materials. It's a reroll. We don't care about it. Social science. Don't really care about it. And apparently I can't do a repeat on the one I just did. So I can't do space. So we're going to go life. Easy enough. Yeah, apparently I can't do a repeat on the one I just did. So we're going to do life. We'll probably just bounce back and forth between life and space science. There's a small chance these guys might, in a couple days, pick space, in which case... Well, if they pick space, we might try to invest in it. To get it going along a little bit faster. They picked info science, so we don't really care about it. In fact, well, we just worked out you can't pick the one you just completed, so they couldn't pick military again. The ones that I kind of care about are military, life, and space. So, 20% chance to hit one of the ones I cared about. If they were perfectly random, and I don't think they're perfectly random. I think the AI has preferences. Now we're getting a little close to the mission control limit. Although we got stuff that when done will provide 10 more mission control, so... okay, we want you to fly back to the Mars shipyard. Low Mars orbit... no, Low Mars orbit shipyard, that one. And then... actually, I'll do the repair before we do the queue up. I don't know if the ships in queue affect the build speed or not. Or the repair speed. So where do we want to go next? That'll hopefully be secured long enough. That way you can do it in November. Here we're waiting for 130 days. Do I go after Cuba? I think we go after Cuba. In which case we want a public campaign in Cuba.
I will try to sway the public.
Standing by for orders. We must persuade the people.
Okay, we put you on... You were running Control Nation. Okay. You provide public campaigns, so you've got the persuasion abilities when we do want to use those. You don't need... Well, that's another example of a public campaign one. It's a little weak for what it is, but... A little weak for what it is fine. I think we're reaching the point here where it's actually going to be hard to take things off, right? It would take like 4 points to get the investigate espionage there to take that off and not lose any stats. 4 points there. 2 or 3 points there. So this person's about done. Not much we can do here to make them better. Well, other than just putting an investment into the point, right? We're probably just not worried about orgs. They've got their final orgs, basically. So we'll do persuasion. Once they get up to 25 persuasion, we'll do in science. And when they're done, they're done. They're getting close. You're probably getting pretty close, too. We give you a command to take this off. Although you actually need that for the increase in rest. So we want you to have increase in rest. Special activity section is providing you with a bunch of buffs. We want it on someone. It's on you. It's necessary to have your max command maxed out, so we're going to leave it there. You're providing space mining. Those are all providing space mining. So yeah, I think you're pretty much done. So, again, just raising stats. As long as they live, we raise their stats. I could give you persuasion to take persuasion off. Of course, you're the only criminal, so the criminal org's got to stay. So those have got to stay. You've got to stay. We could take you off, but we're actually using you for public campaign. We could take you off, because we only need public campaign one source. That would be another persuasion. We could take you off and have you available for someplace else. And then we'd probably pull some science on. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, persuasion. We're going to get complained at because we're over the stockpile limit, but that's fine. We just got to put these away. 2 for 2 science. 1 for 1 science. Some ops income. Do you have assassin already? You have assassin already. I'd save that for someone else. You got command. Okay, we'll just put the science one on here. We're not really doing much material science, but we might in the future. 24 more science, 2 more science base. Or science stat. Okay. And what's our odds with Ray's unrest? 86 at the current investment rate. I might turn you down. Spend ops just a little slower. So we're running 86 was 32. We're only losing 4 to save 16 ops. So we'll do that.
It's time to bring it all down.
Where do you need me? The people will rise. I'm here.
Yes, because we're getting a little low on ops.
Government must
We
fall.
currently make 56, right? So 16 is 48. So that basically burns all the ops. We're basically making, and that's 56 a month, right? I think the council actions right now are 3 weeks, not 4 weeks. So we're probably at the current consumption. We can slow burn at that ops level, I think, and be okay. Which that'll partially be fixed with the Marine Battalion barracks. Okay, so we're going to confirm the assignments. We're going to let the fleet fly, and then we're going to start building the fleet expansion. Okay. I suppose I'm going to do some flight plans. So this is basically the fleet we want to send out to the location. Right, so we want to go prospecting. The place with the biggest volatiles is out at Titan, which is Jupiter system. So we probably want to come out to Jupiter. We probably basically want to send the Marines in to kick the aliens out of that base, those bases, and then try to monopolize as much of Titan as we can. There's 16 sites there. We have allowed mines of 10, so we can take 10 of the 16 with no real extra penalties. We'll have to set up some mission control somewhere, but we can do that. It's expensive, but we can do that. Oh, our habs are starting to get quite expensive. Okay. I looked over at money, hoping to see the money is reasonably high. It's not. It's like 10 a day. Okay, so we're going to have to do some more. We're going to have to be a bit more aggressive with getting boost, I think. Boost in the space hotels. Or space hospitals. But yeah, we wanna do a transfer plan out to Titan. Jupiter. Thought Jupiter's Titan. Is that Saturn? I'm thinking of. Ah, it is Saturn. Let's see if I can actually know where we're going. Oh, nice. Here we go. And then I need a ship for the bases, don't I? So we can go to ship designer. Maybe we do a modified ship design. Example transfer, that example transfer, and then we can go back to the ship designer. Can we do the burn? We can. It's 103 weeks, so it's 2 years. Maybe we need the better drive. I'm not sure if we want to take that long. That's a bit long. Just a bit. And of course it's not a valid refit if we we'll do an upgrade, so it's checking to see if it's a valid fit. So that's an invalid refit. I can't replace the Rangers as much as I'd like to, because the Rangers are good, but they don't get us to Mars particularly well. Wow, okay. The liquid hydrogen helps with the speed. Which makes sense, it's 20% bonus to ship velocity. And yeah, this is not a valid refit, so unless we want to spend 100 weeks getting those things out there, I kind of don't want to right now. That fleet ain't flying. Okay, that fleet ain't flying, so we're not doing that plan. That plan has been put on ice until we get better drives. Although we can start to design what the fleet might look like if we were to go that route, right? So we can run liquid hydrogen containment to save on some delta V. And obviously it doesn't have the marine. Well, we might have some with the marines. We need one. Have I not researched the fusion outpost kits? That might be a mistake. That may be a mistake. So we're gonna want some kits. It probably wants to be fusion, even though I don't think we have the fusion ones for whatever reason. A platform and an outpost. So start off with that, right? So it's extra fuel efficiency, some kits so we can set up when we get there. And maybe like the mobile science, right? And this has also got a nice 5% science bonus on. I think this might actually be a separate one. It might not be immediately hit with the diminishing returns. In which case, this is... Oh, we don't need the flying bridge, so we can actually... Well, I suppose we can actually do that or that. Sure, we'll do that. So yeah, this gets out to Titan 83 weeks, which isn't quite fast enough. So we're going to say this is the colony ship. This is the F2 colony. We're not going to use the F2 colony because it doesn't go fast enough. Doesn't go fast enough, at least not for a Jupiter flight. Maybe if we look at, what is it, Saturn? Saturn might be a little bit easier. Transfer planner. Saturn, say Phoebe? Okay, yeah, Phoebe is a little bit better. That's 42. $45. Okay. So we can do Jupiter, we just can't do Saturn because Saturn's really far out, apparently. It makes a difference on our terrible drives. Makes a big difference in our terrible drives. Okay. And I'm going to check platforms. Do I have the ability to research the fusion ones? I think there's fusion ones. Fusion out, of course. Yeah, I do have the ability to fusion. Okay, so we should wait until we have the fusion ones, because then that makes upgrading just easier. Should wait until we have the fusion ones. And now, as I can't do the it'll be fine. Okay. But I'm going to start researching that. I'll start researching that when we're done with the Marine Platoon Barracks. It's 2 techs in a row. It'll slow down the drive a bit, but that's what we got to suffer through. Okay, back to Earth. Back to advancing time so we can get the technologies we need to do what we want to do.
Lending my expertise.
Head module complete. Marine Platoon Barracks at the demos. Okay.
We have moved the needle.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
The people will be free.
The people find no justice today. The people will be free.
We squat upon a dying world, sucking it dry long past the point when it can still sustain us, and yet an entire galaxy of possibility beckons. Why are we so short-sighted? When will we see that there is nothing left for us here? Director Khalid Al-Ashqar, social media post.
So, Exodus, that's basically Exodus saying, we would like to leave, please. Oh, and apparently that's not the, they got forced, presumably, into that one, because that's presumably the only tech they can work on. That's the last non-future tech, I think, in the tech tree. We were able to do future tech because there wasn't anything to pick besides future tech prior to that one, because antimatter mass production was the prerequisite for it. So that's the last global that is not a future tech. And I think the future techs are repeatable. I think they're repeatable. We might be running out of tech then. We'll see. If they're not. Pretty sure they're repeatable. I just don't think you can repeat one immediately after you took it. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Or maybe you have to research them all first. I'm not sure. Or they're reset. Yeah, so you'll be done in the 5th, which is not very long. And then the fusion kits won't take very long. There's the Marine Battalion Barracks. So again, that's another volatile consumer. This provides 12 ops each. We may be tempted to run out and set a bunch of those up. Yeah, in comparison to what we've been researching in the past, well, and what we're kind of researching now, the fusion stuff here is reasonably cheap. Hurricane, do what we can to mitigate it. Yeah, I think we're going to continue our campaign of raising unrest against the alien administration. And in Cuba, we are starting to get public opinion shifting towards us. Once we're around about 50%, we'll come in with the Purge crackdown cycle and take Cuba over. You can merge in November the 5th. You're 107 days out.
Offering assistance.
Well, I suppose something I could do is I could do direct investment in Boost. So, although that does cost a lot of money, right? 10 is a quarter, is a third of our money. Although this would provide 1.6 boost a year. Is that a year? That was a month. Might be overestimating how much boost that gives us. Yeah, we'll do that anyway. Push that button. That gave us more boost. Barely moved the dial. Yeah. Fusion platform kit complete. And with the fusion outpost kit.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
They're coming after our point. They did manage to get the crackdown through.
Long live the revolution.
We're not doing antimatter.
Revolution
We might do that at a different run.
The uprising is underway.
Lodestar fission reactor lantern. I'm pretty sure that's not what we're going for, so we'll just say continue. We don't need to obsolete it. There's the fusion outpost kit complete. So this is, I think, 3, 4, 5. We're working on 6. We need 6 to research 7, as far as the fusion, inertial confinement fusion drives are concerned. So if I wanted to merge China, Japan, we would want to finish this tech up. There's maybe an argument to grabbing these plasma batteries, because it would add 50 kilometers of range to the plasma batteries. Unity. We are using Unity in China. Space hotels up. And yeah, we can see this consumes a boost as well. This is not as good as the space hospital. which is 3 to 250. Although this provides some influence as well. We will go ahead and research this, and then we'll be able to do the stats on the tier 3 one. Maybe we'll run some space resorts. You've got 20. We probably still want to do command on you. Unless you can pick up government. No, you can pick up criminal. But... to pick up persuasion to move things off. Like, you don't need the Madisonian Society. Although, the Madisonian's a 2-star for 3 stat. You're really good. You're 2 for 2. You're 2 for 2. You're 2 for 2. You're 3 for like 8. 3 for 4. Yeah, so we don't really want to take any of the orgs off that we've got. You're 6% to the economy, 4% to welfare, 2% to knowledge, and those are all things that we like investing in. So yeah, probably just command on you. Okay, let's confirm assignments and move forward.
Offering support.
Oh, I've now got the fusion stuff, so I should make the fusion version of the ship we just finished designing. Ship class, upgrade the colony. This is going to be the colony fusion, which is going to be the colony versions of those modules. Whoops. Fusion version of those modules. Oops. That's the fusion one. Fusion outpost. Fusion platform. There we go. And then you get to where we're thinking in 3.7 weeks. So we're going to save that design. We're going to build some of those. And maybe don't need to build a lot. And these are going to be out in Mars. Right, so we got 6 ships. We had 4 more and then just set out. They'll be a little bit slow because they won't obviously... we'll have a fuel inefficient one going along with them, but that'll be fine. It's Colony Fusion Class Titan. We'll build 4 of them. This will allow us to basically show up and set up 4 outposts. We only really need to set up one platform, but we'll set up 4 outposts. We'll just queue up 4 of these. When our shipyards and building ships, a total of 30 boost. So we'll be fine because we'll have modules running into the 10, although we will be real close to the point where we're not happy. We'll only have to specify, so actually we won't, when these are done, we won't be ready to have the mission controlled to build the base. But of course they've got 40-week flight ahead of them at that point. It'll probably be fine. We'll probably sort the mission control out. We are starting to get a little bit tight in mission control. And there's ways to fix that aren't just crank the mission control up in the United States, although we could do that. Space Resort, done. Or no, Space Hospital, or Space Hotel done, Space Resort's now an option. Plus the coup, we're not really cooing very much. I don't want to pay the 10 volatiles on that, so we're just never going to build that anytime soon. Those are all the merger techs. That one's maybe a little bit tempting for the management control, but we're not at the 1,000 or so that we've got for the moment, so we're not rushed there. Do the investment ones. What have we got down here? Make it harder for the aliens to do stuff against us. Armor and armoring, okay. I don't think they're doing abduction missions in nations that we have executive control, but let's go ahead and do this one quickly, just in case they are. I say quickly, it's a 20,000 cost tech, so it's going to take a while. It's going to take to January. I think our probes are finally hitting the outside of the system, because we're starting to see alien bases on fairly large bodies. Some more stuff finishing.
The people will come to
It was probably
our
one of the
side.
Mars bases we took over a little while ago.
The people will come to our side.
The people find no justice today.
Death to tyrants. The revolution is coming.
Marine Company Barracks complete. I think we only had the one there that we were building, right? Oh, and that was a repair too, so none of the stuff's coming online until the fusion plants come on in January. There.
We'll be ready for new orders soon.
You're 73 days. You're the 5th of November. We're not there yet. Enemy counselor detained. Resistance loyalists have unrest a member of the servants. Which, of course, because they're arrested right now, are very vulnerable. Careless. Yeah, careless would do that to you. They got 25 investigate, 25 espionage. I may be tempted to take advantage of their capture and render them. So they've then got to start over again with their new counselor. Okay, so we're going to take that point back.
At your service.
We probably want to have you either do a crackdown or a purge. Probably the purge in Guatemala. And then we are thinking about killing that person. Oh, and you don't even have assassinate, so it couldn't be you anyway. Yeah, so we're gonna run purge probably. 99% chance. We'll invest 16 influence. This means that even if they do defend interests, it'll still be pretty high.
We are taking power.
Your orders?
You don't have assassinate. We can't turn anyone because we're already at the turn limit.
I'm on your side.
I think there's a way to hire turn counselors, but I don't think we can just tell them to quit. And we don't really necessarily want to tell them to quit. You don't have assassinate. There might be a way that we can pick assassinate up, right? I have a assassinate org. Yeah. So what, that's going to cost us 3% space mining for a counselor cycle. Oh, you have to be a criminal for that. You could become a criminal, just not right now. Okay, never mind. Put that back on. We'll have to send someone else over to do the removal.
Where to? Ready for orders.
Standing by. I have them in my sights.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and remove one counselor from the servants. It's probably only going to be a temporary setback. I don't know how much of that's coming from orgs. So, all the admin's coming from an org. Okay, so the admin will be back on the next counselor. Wait. Oh, the orgs aren't applying when they're... Yeah, so they've got 25 investigate, 25 espionage even before the orgs are being placed. The orgs don't apply when they're in prison. So yeah. Looking at the time, this is a place where I'm going to go ahead and put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. It's probably going to take more than a part to get 185 days under our belt, so we can get the next wave of ships out. And then it's going to take even longer for them to get to Jupiter. I suspect as we send them to Jupiter, they're going to get into conflict after conflict after conflict over and over and over again. They may not even make it. First wave might not make it. But we're going to trit the alien fleets down basically by providing them a pinata to take swings at. And hopefully at some point they'll stop sitting around Earth at that point. So that's the upcoming plan. If you're watching on YouTube, part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break between parts to sip a little bit of tea, and then I'll be back. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.